Welcome back, my fellow ghouls, to the Triple S Variety channel. I'm your host, Triple S, and in this video I'll be breaking down and reviewing the second episode of the first season of the Fallout TV show titled The Target. Now let's begin. Point number 1. So, despite the Enclave in Appalachia being wiped out, with only the AI modus having survived in Fallout 76, the Enclave in California suffering a massive defeat at the hands of the Chosen One, who assassinated President Dick Richardson and destroyed their oil rig base in Fallout 2, the survivors from the oil rig then relocating west to Raven Rock in the Capital Wasteland under the new presidency of AI John Henry Eden, only to suffer 2 more major defeats at the hands of the Lone Wanderer and the Brotherhood of Steel when they assassinated John Henry Eden and destroyed both Raven Rock and the Enclave's mobile base crawler in Fallout 3, and all that's been seen of the Enclave since all that shit went down is just remnants, a term for ex-Enclave members now trying to keep their past a secret and just live in peace, like those you can recruit to aid you in the second Battle of Hoover Dam in Fallout New Vegas, or Brian Richter in Fallout 4. This show is now telling us that somewhere in America there is still a fully functional Enclave base doing experiments on dogs, and presumably FEV as well, since we get a glimpse of what looks like a super mutant being willed past Wilsig and Thor. So the question is, why hasn't the NCR or the Brotherhood done anything about this Enclave base? Well, knowing what we know about the NCR by the end of this season, they most likely haven't been in any position to do much in a while, but surely the Brotherhood wouldn't let a known Enclave base continue to exist. Also, I find it a bit odd that it's the Brotherhood in the Commonwealth who first hear of Wilsig and Thor escaping, and who then subsequently let the Los Angeles Brotherhood know about it. That at first suggested to me that the Enclave base is actually located closer to the Commonwealth on the East Coast, and Wilsig and Thor somehow managed to travel all the way across the country to the West Coast, maybe as part of a caravan. But then that idea gets pretty much disproven when we soon see Wilsig and Thor at a Yaguai den, and Wilsig switches out his lab coat for a regular coat from his bag, something he probably would have done ages ago if he'd been travelling for weeks. And who even put out the bounty on Wilsig? Because if it was the Enclave themselves, shouldn't they be more concerned about not drawing the attention of factions who want to wipe them out like the Brotherhood? Point number 2. Okay, first, since when did the Enclave use Pip-Boys? Is this group of Enclave from a vault or just the scientists, since we see the soldiers don't have Pip-Boys? And second, I can only assume Wilsig throws away this very valuable and useful piece of tech because he believes it could be used to track him. Point number 3, this Fallout 4/76 looking turret's targeting systems really need looking at. It's so terrible at hitting something, it makes stormtroopers look like Vasily Zaitsev. Point number 4, keeping track of where people travel in this show, Lucy started next to the Santa Monica Pier, and walking with the ocean on her left means she's been heading north along the coast, and then later we see her start heading inland. Point number 5, Lucy, being the naive wanderer that she is, reacts perfectly in my opinion to seeing a tumbleweed rolling past. She even reaches for a gun. Point number 6, well, of all the robots I expected to see in this show from the Fallout games, I wasn't expecting to see the remains of an Assaultron from Fallout 4/76. And fun fact, this Assaultron is actually a cosplay from Twitter user at NoSleepCosplay. Really cool that the people making the show actually reached out to fans to use their custom creations. Point number 7, I actually think the nighttime scene between Lucy and Wilsig was supposed to take place after we see him at the Yaguai Cave, and before Lucy speaks to the guy trying to make water from sand, who kinda looks like actor Donal Logue. I think this because he appears to have already abandoned his lab coat and switched to a regular coat when he talks to Lucy at the campfire, but he doesn't do this till he's at the Yaguai Cave. So to me it seems the scenes have been reordered. Point number 8, I love the accurate depiction of how people would react when playing the games and coming face to face with a big ass monster. Even if you're wearing full power armor, when a Yaguai or a Deathclaw gets close enough to start whacking you, you're going to freak out. Point number 9, did anyone else think at first that Titus was actually going to be revealed to be a woman? Turns out it's not, it's a guy, and that guy is actor Michael Rappaport, who has apparently been in a bunch of stuff, but I only know him from those cat videos he posted to his Instagram, you know, with that cat that looks like grandma the fucking thing. It's also funny that besides the cat that looks like it's wearing makeup, another cat appears in Michael's first video that's called Lucy. Point number 10.
Sending me stupid missions for remnants that turn out to be a fucking toaster. You know what you could do with a fucking toaster oven? Do you have any idea?
I hope the Brotherhood never gets their hands on the toaster from the Big MT.
A toaster is just a death ray with a smaller power supply. As soon as I figure out how to tap into the main reactors, I will burn the world.
Point number 11. Good idea, Titus. Insult the only person who can save you right now from imminent death. Your intelligence must be at 10. Wait, is that a minus symbol? Minus 10? Jesus, Titus, you're a moron. Point number 12. Along with that one guy Lucy talks to that kind of looks like actor Donald Logue, why does this farmer guy kind of look like actor Stephen Root? Point number 13, if you were reminded of Megaton from Fallout 3 when Lucy enters Philly, that was apparently the intention according to director and executive producer Jonathan Nolan in this IGN article. Nolan wanted audiences to experience the wasteland as he did during his first playthrough of Fallout 3, when players are dumped from the vault into the appropriately named community of Megaton. I just remember the beauty of the way that environment was designed, Nolan recalls, all around this central unexploded Chekhov's nuke in the middle of town. Point number 14, oh hell yes, a Brahmin. I don't know why, but I just love Brahmin. I'd always come to their rescue if I saw them being attacked. Point number 15, neat use of slow-mo during this gunfight because it's just like the kill cam from the games, though I usually turn it off since it slows down the gameplay too much for me. Point number 16, I've seen a lot of people wonder what pistol the Gull uses that fires these missile-like bullets. It's not from the games, but people do like to compare it to the unique .223 pistol, that gun from Fallout New Vegas, what with its high damage and a high crit chance. Point number 17, I actually thought Thor was going to have seemed to have died here, but then miraculously show up later on alive and well, but then seemingly die again, and that would just keep repeating, as if the Puppies perk from Fallout 3 was active or something. Point number 18, I wonder why they didn't have the ghouls say chems instead of drugs here. That's what they're usually called in the games after all.
Red Brick never touches chems.
Point number 19, so yeah, those weren't flamethrowers on the arms of the power armor, but instead jets, allowing the wearer to fly Iron Man style. I can only assume they went with this way of having the power armor be able to fly, rather than it having a Fallout 4/76 style jetpack, because it's a lot easier to pull off effect-wise, even though those two small jets really don't seem like they'd be enough to lift an entire heavy-ass suit of power armor. Point number 20, I don't understand why people got so mad that the power armor helmet can now open up like this. Just because we never saw the helmets do this in the games doesn't mean it couldn't be a thing, or maybe this is a recent upgrade to power armor helmets that has been applied since the games, you know? Point number 21, surely, with how far Maximus threw and kicked a rock before, he should have just smashed in the Gull's chest completely with that punch, right? Point number 22, I tried finding out where these coordinates actually point to, assuming their latitude and longitude, and they're just complete nonsense. They in no way match up with the coordinates of Griffith's Observatory at all. Point number 23, and speaking of Griffith's Observatory, instead of walking northeast in the direction of it from wherever Philly is near Santa Monica, Lucy and Wilsig have instead walked southeast all the way down to the ruins of Los Angeles International Airport. Why? What convoluted route is the Pip-Boy taking them on? Point number 24, I like how Wilsig says the cyanide pill, Vault-Tec Plan D, is quick and painless, yet it takes him at least another 2 minutes to kick the bucket, enough time for him to explain why he took it and to convince Lucy to saw his head off. Point number 25, ooh, neat, a Ripper. Looks like a different one than ones we've seen in the games. I mean, it can fold. I guess it's meant to be like a compact travel version. I like as well Lucy having to cut off someone's head was kind of foreshadowed in episode 1 when the camera focused on the Vault Boy poster she looked at that read, "Don't lose your head." To round all this off, my most disliked part of the episode goes to how Wilsig and Marjune were, despite how much they appeared in promotional material, just one and done characters. Maybe they might reappear in season 2, Marjune being like a Peli Motto from the Mandalorian type character, and with Wilsig we could see like flashbacks explaining more of his time with the Enclave. And my most liked part of the episode goes to the Titus and Yao Guai fight. A guy in power armor fist fighting a 2-ton irradiated bear and then running away shouting fuck 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 is just perfectly Fallout. I love it. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Triple S Variety channel. Why not leave a comment below pointing out anything I missed but you noticed? I would love to hear from you all. I've been Triple S, you've all been amazing, and I shall see you all in the next video.